Hi, I'm Mike Jasper, Executive Vice President at Velocity Procurement. Velocity is a procurement advisory firm helping our clients to mature their people, process, and technology around source to pay. I'm joined today by Olav Maz, Vice President of Product Management at Basware. Basware is regarded by most of the leading analysts, such as Gartner and Forrester, as the leader in AP automation. Today, we'll be talking about artificial intelligence or AI in accounts payable. Olav, it's good to be here with you today.
Yeah, thanks for having me over. It's really good.
Now, I've had a lot of conversations with our clients, and AI is a recurring topic that comes up. Clients are asking how they can start utilizing this. What are some of the use cases in accounts payable? Have you done any research with some of the external AI tools like Chat, GPT, Bard? And how does that compare to some of the things Basware is doing internally with AI?
Yeah, you really hit the spot here, right? If you think about all the noise out there that is now with ChatGPT, everybody is talking about that. And I think that is the most exposed AI, I guess, we have right now. Uh, and yes, we are definitely focusing on AI as well, but there are so many different kind of AIs out there, right? And ChatGPT is a typical conversational AI where you ask a question, you get an answer back more or less. And that is not necessarily the AI to use for AP automation as such, but we have definitely been looking for different kind of AIs. How can we really streamline automation? How can we resolve deviations using AI? And we have been doing that in the invoice ingestion part, for example, or coding an invoice going forward.
Yeah, and one of the things I look at is as I look at all the different AI tools, I sort of categorize them into external and internal. External being the Chat GPTs and the Bards, and there's hundreds of them come out every week. But I call them external because at the core, they're external to your organization. Your data is going outside of your firewall, and you're sharing that data. What are your thoughts on how that affects use cases within accounts payable?
That's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So it's a good thing that you can leverage it towards an external data source, which is really good. But if we're talking about financial data, that's highly sensitive. So that's not necessarily something that you would easily give away. And your splitting into external and internal AI is, I guess, spot on. So some things are really like customer specific, right? And you don't need an external AI for that point of view because the outcome that you want is based on you. And that is definitely a split moving forward to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I run into a lot of use cases as we go through the entire source to pay platform. Yeah, I can see a lot of cases around supplier risk management, around even some of the sourcing, looking for new questions for an RFP or, how to score an RFP. A lot of that is data that's not necessarily proprietary to the organization, but as I start looking at, accounts payable, taking invoice data, supplier price lists, taking, your discounts and putting that external, I've had a lot of conversations with clients where they're not ready to have that data be put out in public because that data, if you look at the use cases and the privacy policies, that data is all usable by those external AIs. They can use that to learn from, but that also means they're retaining your data in those models, and that's a security concern for a lot of accounts payable.
It is, yes. You can read a lot from that, right? You may give things away that you're not aware of. Yes.
Yep. I know Basware's done a lot with accounts payable and artificial intelligence. We're going to make some other quick videos here talking about some of the great things you're doing around invoice ingestion, invoice coding, but just taking a look at how fast AIs sort of grab this market. I mean, think back to November, December, we weren't talking about AI at all. And all of a sudden this wave came across. Outside of those things that we're going to have some other conversations on, what do you see the future with AI being in accounts payable? What are we talking about 12 months from now that we're not talking about today?
Yeah, well, the direction that these things are going is that first of all, it is used for automation, right? And every AP automation tool has a certain level of automation from history. And it's now time to focus on the second part, the second layer of automation, the more complex cases. And their AI will take take a big role, but still it will be more of a virtual guidance kind of way, right? You will get different kind of proposals. What should I do to resolve this deviation? And think about an invoice that you get for an approval task. And then one of the things that AI could tell you is that, hey, should you approve that invoice? And it could leverage then all the data that you have been gotten from the history that, hey, the supplier is recognizable, your spend is within the boundaries, the currency is okay, the things on the invoice looks okay. So, hey, yes, this document is 95% sure that you're going to approve it anyway. So I give this a high confidence score. So these kind of helping hands for these situations for the users to make it easier basically to interact with the API automation. And you can then even think about high confidence levels on invoices. Can it go passive approval instead of active approval? So that is definitely a direction where these tools will be able to get you.
Yeah, I think that's a great point there, Olav, because so many clients I know have job aids or worksheets that they give their approvers saying check these 7 things before you approve an invoice. And for the system to be able to do that for you and say these 7 things that are most at risk are all okay, it really simplifies that approval process. So I'm excited to see something like that come to market.
Yeah, same here. That would definitely be the next level of touchless invoice processing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're going to get into some of the other use cases here in a few minutes on some of our other videos, but Olav, it's been great chatting with you about just accounts payable, artificial intelligence, and where we're at and where we're going.
All right, it's an interesting journey.